Hello everybody, hi there, Fynhawn da, mae hi'n stormys iawn, there's a big storm here. Coriander's a popular herb to grow, so if anyone's got space and time, go for coriander. Next year I'm going to do double the amount. At a social distance, of course. I've just had someone ask for some, and of course they can have coriander. You can't get it in the shops, so yeah, I'm over the moon with that. But what I was doing, I was actually doing a video a minute ago on garlic, and I had to press stop to go and put my gloves on and harvest some coriander and then, all that. So anyway, I turned it off, so I'm just going to do it now instead. We've got a storm. I don't know if you're going to hear me, if it's going to compete. I don't know how safe this is, but worse things happen and see, I'm sure. I've got about 7 varieties of garlic cooking away in the ground at the moment. Outside and in the tunnel. Had a really good harvest of garlic last year from the tunnel, and it was a bit earlier as well. So I had a couple of bulbs from the Isle of Wight, and I had some saved seed which I've just called Yellow or Red 2019, and a few bulbs from a garden centre and Wilco's. So I think I've got Marco, Dario, Thermodrome, Germador, that's 4. Provenance White, which is an Isle of Wight one, and then this one called Mikolov White, which was a huge bulb which consisted of 4 cloves, and they were huge. I'll show you them in a second. But as I got rained in the tunnel, and before I went and picked coriander, I was just having a little bit of a nose. I'm curious if they were splitting, if they were bulbing up. And no, they're not. Even the big ones are still kind of one, like a mono. So even though there's no rush, there's another month to go or so it's fine. I can work around it. Same out there. Starting to plant lettuce in between a few. Might regret that. So yeah, garlic. Let's show you. Let's take you off this thing. It's a good idea to touch metal, but then this is rubber, so anyway. So I'm going to turn the camera thing round, like that, like that, like that. Now that's just taking a photo. So what do I need to do? I need to go like that, don't I? Right. So this is the Mikolov White. So this was 1 clove from a bulb of only 4 cloves. So I've only got 4 of them in here, and I've got 3 outside because the one bulb was just it just had 3 cloves in it. So you can see them here now. They're looking great. They're looking really good. They've got really long leaves. I'm sorry, I can't see what you can see of this. I can't switch the camera. But anyway, these are going good. I'm really chuffed with these, but just having a little nose, there's still just one bulb. And then this is some saved seed. Now I've been taking some saved seed already as green garlic, and that's lovely. We're out of garlic now. We ran out in December, and so we've had to buy 8 cloves so far from a shop, but now we're in. So green garlic will do us, and in another month, 6 weeks or so, we might start getting our bulbs. And this is Provenance White, so I think this would have been from the Isle of Wight as well. Again, I apologise on the camera work, and if you can hear me. And so yeah, what I did, I literally marked every single one with a letter of what the variety is, because last year I mixed up all the varieties of garlic, and I was gutted. So that's what's in the tunnel, and then there's some. I think this is safe seed. Oh no, this is early. I think this is early purple. So that's 6 varieties now. All the full varieties will be written down in my book, and when I come to harvest everything, I'll do a nice video on the varieties, and we can see what we get, and I'll make sure I've got the varieties all so we know what's what. That was my main aim. If I could get the onions and the garlic label properly this year. All I did in the tunnel was Sensu yellow sets and red What's the red one? Electric. So electric, Sensu yellow, and Autumn Champion. Autumn Champion did really well last year. So that's for the sets on the last video, the spring onions that I was harvesting. And a few of them I'll be leaving to bulb up. I mean, I'll leave them as long as they start to look really ill. I mean, Alice has been walking around them. I've started to walk on the beds a bit now. Yeah, but I'm glad I did it, even though it's taken up the space. I'm glad I've done it. And I give... there's a tip, right? I won't be doing many tips because I'm learning, but one thing I did learn... Now, if we pretend the rocket didn't go nuts and ruin it, if you're planting sets in the tunnel and you're doing it along the front of your bed, so there's the bed here, I have had a bit of string. Now this should be nice and taut, and so what it did, or what it should do, is keep the onion leaves off the ground, because as soon as they touch the ground you start getting these horrible tips, and then that's no good to cook with. So I've been breaking them off, but because the rocket on both sides here, sorry about the camera work, I mean look at that stem, that was our rocket stem, and that weighed all this down and I lost the tension. But what I like to do, and especially as they grow nice and early, is make sure they're all kind of nice and high up, you know. But I've missed the boat on that now, and it's harvest time, I'm not too bothered. But if anyone was putting out onion sets now in a tunnel, I would recommend, especially if they're on the edge, a nice tight bit of string just to keep the leaves off the ground. And yeah, and this has been in place since we put this bed in, because I knew I'd want to do sets in here continuously. I probably won't do it, well, I probably definitely won't do it in this bed because that's 2 years in a row. Not that I don't think rotation matters too much, but you know, with sets you do get more prone to maybe bringing in disease or some rot or whatever. And then with the strawberries as well, it just seems sensible to put what you can around a strawberry bed. So I am doing that, and you know, we're starting to get ripe ones come up. And Alice had her first one today. There was no. She was trying to pull that one too, but that one down there. But I was, no, come on, let's leave it a bit longer, please. So I'm soaking wet anyway, so I might as well show you the garlic outside. You know, don't know. That was quite a jolt. I'm going to do a whole video on the transition of the tunnel. The potato bags are outside having a drink, as is everything else really. And that's the great thing about container growing. As soon as you get a downpour, you can just run outside with everything and let it have a drink. I won't go through my plan for the tomatoes yet. I want to do a nice video on that, keep it nice and organised. I don't know what this is called, but it's coming into flower. It's got a lovely scent. Right, it's actually not as heavy now. I mean, these are looking good. Now, all the labels are at the end there. Oh, I can actually get on these now. Dario, this one. So they're looking good. These ones were Thermodrone, Dario, so that one would be Marco. And then this is the Mikulov white. So there's 3 there because there was only 3 cloves in that bulb. So I'm expecting big things from these. But I have had a little dig, and they're mono still there. They haven't split really. So interesting. You know, these went in. Excuse me. These went in. I'll check it, but it's got to be October, November. I like to get them in October, November time. But I'm still in hope we'll get garlic, and if we get mono bulbs, then there we are. Whatever. But plenty of time left. There's no rush. And with the broad beans, I've started to notice some broad beans. So there's some. I don't know what you can see, but there's some fruits coming there now. So My first year growing broad beans, aqua dulce these are, so we'll see what we get from these over the moon. PG onions are looking great, and the shallots are starting to show through now. I have supplemented them a little bit with some shallots given to me, thank you Tony, down the road, and also I have a second sowing of zebrain shallots that I've actually done quite well, although they are a bit small. So there's the devastation of a beetroot bed there. So we had all that out, and yeah, halfway through really. Probably had a dozen that we'll roast today with a salad, but I won't be bothering overwintering beetroot again. The same I think happened with Steve at Seaside Allotment Channel. It didn't go well for him either, and it was they looked so good throughout the autumn and the winter and the spring, and then suddenly just everything bolted. So yeah, waste of space. But there we are. There's no weeds there. I'm going to give that a bit of a feed with some well-rotted horse manure I've got left, and then I think I was going to put broad beans in there, but I've got some leeks coming on. I've got these Bulgarian giant leeks I'd like to give a go, and the Musselburgh are starting to look nice, a nice size. So they're the Musselburgh, good old favourite, and they're the Bulgarian giants. I'll give a few of them away locally. But there we go, I'm getting soaked now. Now, if anyone has never grown garlic before, I recommend you try, because it's a nice crop to grow, because there's a little bit of an excitement I find, because in October, November time, and even December, you put your clothes in the ground. Sorry about that. You put your clothes in the ground, and it's just a kind of a nice anticipation of what may come. And I love garlic, we love garlic. I use garlic a lot in cooking. And then of course you can plant out in spring, so I presume people are probably putting clothes in the ground now. But I do like to do autumn. I do, yeah, autumn, winter. I think I did put a few really small stuff down, my own say seed, that I've already pulled out, just as green garlic, just a tiny cloves, you know, you get a little bit of flavour. But yeah, that's it. That's a garlic video. I've already done a garlic video, but I didn't publish it because I thought, oh, I better edit it. But just as and when I got the time, I'll throw a few things out. But the next video hopefully will be after the frost we have coming. I want to do a transition and show you what's going on with the tomatoes and go through the varieties I've got. But I'm doing them in black bags, and I'm doing them in buckets, containers, big pots, and some outside as well. So we'll just see how that goes, and hopefully the tunnel is going to look a lot more ready for that kind of. All this will kind of be going-ish come June. I'm probably going to go for some brassicas as well to overwinter, so I want to keep in mind of space. But yeah, some bad news on a certain flower. I don't know how this happened, right? I came in the tunnel last night, and for some reason I fell over, and I snapped the borage. You know, but what's really interesting is there's ants going absolutely, well, they were going absolutely nuts before this storm. I don't mind ants in the tunnel, I'll get over it. But where the split was, I don't know if they're after sap or what, but they were going absolutely nuts. Anyway, so yeah, the lesson learned there. Keep away, and I'll tell you what, they're sharp. You know, the leaves are quite sharp, the stem is quite sharp, and it wasn't a nice experience, but hey, not too much ale and a wobbly chair didn't help. But there you are then, I'll catch you all next time. Thanks for watching, and all the subscribers, thank you, and I'll see you soon. Au revoir.